I'm sick to death of people being misguided, misled, mistreated, misinformed. Sick and tired of it. I really am. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. That's all you're doing. Utter useless. Total garbage. Good for nothing. So there's people who think that I'm much of a bore. I'm not. I'm telling the truth here. Incompetence gets you nowhere. And whoever says that competence does, they're lying to you. You're being misled. It's everything. False information. And that's some false ass information, may I say. Nobody's going to sit there and tell me different. I mean, if I'm giving you information, I expect you guys to either take advice or at least agree with me. If you think I'm not entitled to an opinion, but if I know that something to be factual, believe me, I will say something. Oh, why, shithousery? Honestly. You can tell I'm not happy. Oh, I'm not going to stand here. No. I speak my mind. Believe me. I'll not stand for being misled into false ass information that can. Right. I go to the health centre. Right. And I'll tell you, this is exactly what happened. I go to the health centre looking for a prescription that is meant to be there. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Hee-haw. So, I trundle to the chemist to get the prescription. Chemist doesn't have it. Where did you go? I says I went to I just came from the health centre. So, no, I'm not. I'm not. The younger brother.
He's your brother now, yeah?
Well, so are you.
I'm your big brother.
Yeah, you're my big brother. He's my.
I'm your boldy brother, yeah?
Well. Have you got a lighter?
Just a moment.
No,
Clipper?
no. You got a popple?
Oh, thank you. I don't have the popple, but
I get a wee bag.
that's like a popple.
That'll do.
69 pounds.
There you go.
Here you go, brother. Look at me.
Thank you. Cheers. See you after. See you later, little brother. Hello, Daisy mate. So yeah, I go at the health centre to ask nicely for a prescription that they said was there. And like Casper the Ghost, it's invisible. It's nowhere to be seen. So, what do? I go to the chemist. And I explain to the person in the chemist. I say, is the prescription here? Pretty please'ums. I kinda need it. Oh, there's nothing here. Well, I've just been told it was here. From the person from the health centre. So now I might have to spend an hour up here. I am not walking home just to walk back up again. You can forget it. I am not walking downhill just to walk back up a hill, then to go back down it again. No chance. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not that dumb. I don't have mug written on my forehead. So yeah. Incompetence, people. Inept uselessness. I'm not going to swear. I swear down, I'll be calm. I'm just discussing that the fact that this happens on a regular basis, and it's just, I'm talking for the thousands of people that stay in the same place. They all get treated the same, which is stupid. If somebody's going to turn and tell me, right? If somebody's going to turn and tell me that if something's ready to be picked up, you can go and pick it up. Nobody's going to sit there and say, well, it's ready, but it's not there, it's invisible. So, does that tell me that Casper the Ghost is visible? Real? Answers on a postcard. It's utterly ridiculous, honestly, I tell you, it's stupid. I mean, I don't know what it's like everywhere else, I'd like to ask, is this same thing happening across the pond? Or is it happening everywhere? I'd like to understand this, I'd like to know what's going on. Because to me, it's bone idle, incompetence, inept, immoral. Immoral. For a prescription, what are you meant to do? It's meant to already been processed. But no, it's not. Beyond ridiculous. I will have a look next time I'm in there. Like I say, I don't think it will be long, in all honesty. Well, I'm hoping it's not going to be long. But it's a shambles. It really is a shambles, and I don't care what anybody says. It's an utter shambles. What on earth are you doing coming up here? An Arctic lorry tried up the street. And that's why I stayed with Edsel surgery. I phoned my doctor at 8. He will phone me at 8:30 and get tablets by 1 o'clock. How do you even get in touch with that doctor in Edsel? How do you get moved there? I hate this doctor that's here. I absolutely do. It's the worst of the worst of the worst. I agree, Dave. I mean, Edsel's a far better place to get a doctor. It's far better run. We had a leaflet through the door the other day about Edsel Pharmacy saying they can deliver your tablets, everything else. Done. But no. This place is a diabolical bulldoze and start again. Thing is, she sat up there, right? Well, she stood up there, right? And she looked right at me and she's like, "Can I help you?" It's like, "Is there a prescription ready?" And she says, "There's nothing here." I says, "Well, I got told this afternoon that we'd been ready for pickup. They sent to the chemist to get processed. Nothing." "Oh, it's already at the chemist." I go to the chemist. She says, "Here for pickup." Nope, nothing's been handed in. So yeah, this might be a bit of a rant, but I mean, I'm talking for the thousands of people that are going through the same thing here. Incompetence. Surely this is illegal. 3 cars. Surely this is illegal. The camera's right there. Surely that's illegal. I don't care if I'm filming this on YouTube. There's 3 cars there. 3. Illegally parked. Well, what is this place? Man, I don't care. 3 vehicles. 1, 2, and 3. Look. How's that legal? Come on. And what is this? Is this like some kind of circus act? I don't even have a driver. I've got a provisional license, right? It's in the back of my phone. But come on. That is shocking. I don't care if they hear me. I don't care if I'm filming them. I'm in public. That is utter disgraceful. 3 cars. I'm thinking I'm having a drinky pops tonight. I think I deserve a drinky pop tonight. Tell you, what a shambles! And they're just standing there, yap, 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 yap. Donna, have you ever seen such the likes? Right, this is a one-way street, right? You go down here to go around there, right? Or you go straight down here and you go that way. That is not a car park. I hear thousands of goosies above my head. I mean, somebody could have got a space in there. You got that right, Dave. I have never seen such the likes of this. And yet the camera's there, watching this. Surely this is illegal. Donna, if you just came in, I do apologise. I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but I'm just baffled that this is also going on in the town. Oh. They're heading that way. So, just because I've got a provisional license, right, I know for a fact you're not allowed to park on there. Ever. They'll be flying over your direction, guys. Just past us. Inconsiderate, incompetent, inept. I mean, what are you going to do with this? I mean, where's the police? Where's traffic wardens when you need them? I mean, this is proof enough. I should take this to the traffic wardens. Just see here, listen, I've got 3 vehicles here. There you go, boom, boom, bang, bang. Job done. I feel like I've just become an auditor all of a sudden. And they can't get me done for filming in public because there's no such thing as you cannot film in a public place. Well, you can. I do it all the time. My YouTube channel's full of it. So they're just going to leave their cars there, eh? Oh, there's one. So he's going to leave two. It doesn't matter if you've driven away, son. You're parked there illegally. It's a junction. It's a one-way street. So now they're sitting there, and now people with cars are now going to turn up and thinking, well, how am I meant to see over this nonsense? I don't care if he's on delivery. He shouldn't be there. Now, instead of having the street the way that this pavement used to be, this pavement was never here. This used to be a car parking slots. You know, the cars would be facing this way. And there was 8 spaces here at one point. But what have they done? Oh, well, build a pavement with fancy looking coloured slabs that are awful slippery when it's wet. Riley the Game Slayer, hello, welcome. So yeah, Scotland, Riley. That is I mean, look at this. Now we've got an articulated lorry, even though it doesn't have a trailer. You still got an articulated lorry. What are they doing up here? Bone idle. Guys, hit the thumbnail button if you haven't done so already. It would help appreciate the fact that incompetence gets you absolutely nowhere in life. I mean, people have got to. Believe me, look at this. Why? Oh, and you expect me to just go outside and whatever else, and yet still faced with 2 illegally parked cars. And is that fantastic? See, when I'm in the house, nothing bothers me. See, when I'm outside and I see things like this, shambles. Absolute shambles. So it still leaves one buffoon sitting there. One delinquent. A non-educated one at that. I mean, where is the law? Where is the law when it comes to things like this? Where is it? Nowhere to be seen. Sitting in the coffee and donut shop. Oh, well, just, I mean, the thing is, they up there, right? The camera has got to see this. Utter shambles, man. I mean, am I talking sense here? Please, somebody explain if I'm talking sense. If I'm not talking sense, then fair enough. But, I mean, I believe that there is an illegally parked car. Has to be. It has to be. There's no other word for it. Firecracker. Rangers FC. Well, you're just as bad as us lot. If not worse. No, I hasn't said anything bad. I'm just stating the fact that Both teams in Glasgow are utter mints. And worse, oh man, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry, Firecracker, that you're going through a hard time on the football side of things. I don't really have an English team. I've got soft spots for a few clubs down in England, but football's not the way it was before. It really isn't. I swear this down. Football isn't the way it was before. Shadrach, let me remember Zola in the good old days. Yeah, listen, Firecracker, I'm going to say something. As a Celtic fan myself, right? I know it's like living in the past, and people say, oh, but you can't live there anymore, you can't stay there anymore. Martin O'Neill, when he was the manager the first time round, I know he's an interim, but I'll explain this. The team that Martin O'Neill had back in from 2000 to 2005 were men. No doubt about it, they're men. If you put that squad that Martin O'Neill had, so 2005, right? Exactly. He still is the boss. To me personally, hi Share Bear. Me personally, if you're going to look at something, Martin O'Neill is a legend in his own right. This team that he's got now, hi Share Bear. This team that he's got just now. This team he's got just now isn't his own. It was inherited by Ange, and it was inherited by Brendan Rodgers, plus the board. I must add that, because the board also bought players. If you were to put Martin O'Neill's squad that he had against this pile of nonsense on the pitch, I tell you something. I want to mention three players here straight off the bat, right? Larsson, Sutton, Hartson, right? Or anyway, you want to Larsson, Hartson, Sutton. It doesn't matter what way you put it. They three alone were a strike force like no other. And I say this with true justice. Hello, somebody, really. So, this is where I look at this squad that isn't his own. I honestly think, in my honest opinion, and I said this last night, that Martin O'Neill might stay to the end of the season to have a complete rebuild inside Parkhead from top to bottom. And it goes beyond the board, by the way. It's got to go beyond all that. We all know that. But my feeling on this, there is if you take the squad that he built up, especially 2003, even though it was a bad year, it was a good year but a sad year at the same time, because we got to the UEFA Cup final. Sadly, we were robbed of that, and I don't care who says that we didn't. We did. Clear as day, we got robbed. Daylight robbery. I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby. Now, reminiscing It will never be like it was, and to be honest, I'm not surprised Martin O'Neill's still a manager. The thing is, that the reason that Martin O'Neill's been brought back here, right? I'll get back to the original point. The reason being that he's been brought back was to try and win the league. Because they don't want Hearts to win it. They don't want Hearts to win the league. They've brought Martin O'Neill back for a reason, and that reason alone is so that Celtic can win the league. Now, what happens when it comes to January time? Let me explain. If Martin O'Neill is still a manager by January, he has got to sit there and buy players in. And Dermot Desmond, who might be the biggest shareholder of Celtic Football Club, he will then say to Martin, here's money, go and JR, I know you guys shout there. Have you got any content on your channel, Firecracker, as well as WWEJR? Have any of you got content? I'm just asking. See, I like to reminisce on the good old days because back then there was no VAR. The referee's decision was kind of final. But the problem with VAR in Scotland, it works, but for the all wrong reasons. I'm not going down that route because that's just going to open a whole can of worms that is illegal. Yeah, PM me 2 messages. Let me see. So, Firecracker, have you got content on your channel? I know them from our brother Jason livestream. Brother Jason? Who's Jason? No, you don't have content. That's alright. But I mean, I would take the days from 2000 to 2005, and that's when football was football. But at the same time, thank you, Firecracker. It was the same with Rangers before what happened with them, with the EBT scandal. I mean, they were a strong squad. I mean, Michael Moles, one of the greatest players for them to come across here. I mean, our 2 greatest players that have came from abroad, I could definitely say Henrik Larsson without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, obviously, the King of Kings. I mean, I could also say that, what's his name? Lubo Moravcik. I know that we're going reminiscing on the good old days of football, but I mean, you guys had a strong squad. We had a strong squad, and that's what's missing. I mean, if you look at the Bruni era of him being a captain, we're needing a player like that dominates the middle of that pitch to say, right, you go there and stay there and man mark this guy and whatever else. It doesn't happen now. It doesn't. I mean, as soon as you get the ball, and it's like any dodgy decision, if you fall down, it could relate to you getting sent off just because that you just touched his shirt. Without even doing nothing to the guy could just fall down. Penalty. It's corruption. It's full of it. I don't care what anybody says. It's corrupt. I mean, I watch Baz, and I mean, he talks sense. But this squad that we have got at the moment, I swear down, and I sit here and say this with all wholeheartedly, if you put that squad that Martin O'Neill had, that he built up to the 2003 UEFA Cup final, they would demolish this set of uselessness that's inside Parkhead at the moment. They'd be turned upside down, sideways. I mean, you got Big Bobo Baldi. defender. You got Stan Varga, Johan Mjällby, Didier Gat. The pace of him floored players, floored other teams because they just couldn't keep up with him. Tell me if I'm talking truth here. I miss they days, but I'm thankfully I'm alive to remember them. I remember the UEFA Cup final in 2003. We were robbed of that. But you say you got to let bygones be bygones. It's a different era now. Right, okay, so then we had the Invincible season in 2018. I think that was the Invincible season. I mean, I'll even go back to watching the programme. It was on ITV4. It was a documentary between Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira. Arsenal versus Man United. If you're anybody that knows what I'm about to say here, Roy Keane was one of the best midfielders to ever grace the game. Regardless, he knew what to do in the middle of a pitch, and his job was to keep Patrick Vieira at bay. But Patrick had other ideas. I mean, the majority of the time that Roy Keane would get sent off. I mean, I'm not going to say that Patrick Vieira was a saint, but I mean, he got sent off a couple of times during one of those games. But if I was to pick a manager between Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson, I'd take Arsene Wenger, or Wenger, whatever we call him. I'd take Arsene. He systematically, basically went through, at that time, when he was manager, he went through an Invincible season. I think that was 2000, when was that, 2004? Somewhere about there. It was early 2000s anyway. Arsenal went through an Invincible season. Well, no wonder. Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp. Who else was in that squad? There was the boy Kuhn, or Known, or whatever. There was him, Tony Adams, David Seaman. What a squad that they built up. I mean, there was Pires. He was also in there. Okay. Pires was in there. Then Fabregas came in. I mean, we had Ashley Cole in defence. We had Sol Campbell. Some squad back in the day. But I still say the greatest manager ever to be from this country, Brian Clough. Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, Martin O'Neill played under Clough. So, what does that tell you? That Clough, for all that Clough has done, you've got Martin O'Neill, Roy Keane, both of which have been players under Clough that understand what's happening up here from a footballer's head. You'll never see that again. I mean, I still say one thing, and I wish we seen what Ange Postecoglou could have done for us. I just wish we seen what Ange Postecoglou was going to do for us. It would have been nice. But you can't think like that anymore, apparently. 2 years is not... If you're going to go to a club And if you've got experience elsewhere, you should be given a 5-year contract to actually say, well, let's see what silverware you can bring, apart from domestic trophies. You need to think European trophies. If it's going to be the European Cup or is it going to be Europa League, it could well have been the Europa Conference League. I think it's called Europa Conference League. I'd have loved to have seen what Ange Postecoglou could have done for us, and we were never given the full enjoyment of him being there. I mean, I tell you, who else was a great player for us back in the day? I mean, if you're going to go back, like, even in the 80s, maybe 90s for Celtic. I mean, I know, the 80s and 90s it wasn't the best of, like, trophy hauls, but I tell you something. I mean, I tell you what Celtic need, right? And if Baz, let's say, if Baz was ever to come across my channel, I pop in to say hello to him. I'll say this: if Baz ever finds this live stream of mine, what Celtic need is someone who's got the brain like Paolo Di Canio. I mean, we got another one. Look, here we go again. See? Oh, we're just going to park here, eh? Who gives a toss about traffic? Paolo Di Canio. Scott Brown was like him. Callum McGregor at the moment will never be anything like Scott Brown. He's got his own temperament, and it's understandable that people have their own temperament. Scott Brown knew how to dictate on a football pitch, and I'll say this now, and I do apologise if this is going to offend anyone, what I'm going to say, but he was the perfect person for shithousery, and he got away with it. And if anybody doesn't believe me, I'm talking sense there. I mean, he was one of the biggest wind-up merchants on a pitch. But I mean, if you look back on Celtic's transfer windows, take Messi all day long. Give me a minute, guys. 2 minutes. Sorry about that. Even us Southerners wanted the Celtic Rangers clash every year. Di Canio was one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, exactly. Danny McGrain also. Paul McStay. Legends. Proper men. Give me a minute, guys. We're back. So yeah, somebody said what? Somebody said Messi or Ronaldo. Ronaldo thinks that he's a one-man team. Messi is a player for he's a squad man. You know what I mean? He's not a one-man army like Ronaldo thinks he is. That's the difference between Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo thinks that he's the guy that he thinks, oh, I'm the best. I'm this. I'm that. I'm the big man. I'm number one. Question: has Ronaldo ever won the World Cup? And if so, how many compared to compared to Messi? Lionel Messi. Because I'll tell you just now, I would take Messi all day long. Messi is a team player. But who's the next superstars are going to be apart from them two? Reminds me of Batista. 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 I don't know. Firecracker. I don't know. But yeah, reminiscent of the good old days. But as you see, you can't keep on looking backwards. But so I made a point here, by the way. I made a point. Sometimes you've got to go back to move forward. Sometimes. Now, it's not necessarily saying it's true, but saying sometimes that has had to happen. You go back to go forward. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce off of here. So I'll be live later on anyway. So I'll be doing some gaming. And I will catch us all in the next one. Okay? Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.